Hi guys, Happy New Year. And I'm Subhashini, and I'm hoping to bring you a lot of news in the space of AI this year too. So let's get started. Let's do a quick recap of what happened in the last year. So last year we had seen that from a continuation from 2023, there had been a huge jump in the usage of generative AI, the adoption of generative AI, and then we had looked at certain studies where we had noticed that for every $1 company invests in generative AI, the return on investment is actually 3.7x, and the usage had gone up. And what was really important is that organizations were planning to expand beyond pre-built AI solutions to advanced AI workloads which were customized to them. So a very positive method of looking at things. And we saw, of course, the largest organizations taking the lead. So you had Google Maps, which had come up with its best AI update ever with Google Shopping. Then we saw how there was a major AI upgrade even in Google search engine. So everything's becoming AI centric. Everything is incorporating AI smartly into its existing process in Google. That's how we were seeing. Then there was this part where we had covered the Gartner hype cycle. And if we had looked at it, we would know that the five stages of new technology, which is innovation, peak of inflated expectation, and then a trough of disillusionment, then the slope of enlightenment, and a plateau of productivity. Well, generative AI is actually from the peak of inflated expectation was going to hit the trough of disillusionment. So yes, that is something that is the sets the tone for 2025 2027, that we will see more news on Gen AI, but we may end up looking at some not very positive news. So therefore, we come to this conclusion: what is the future of generative AI really? And I think what will be seen is that a lot of organizations will try to use it to improve personal productivity and look at how it can be used for more complex tasks, because that's a space of value potential which still remains untapped. So in 2025, what are we seeing? We are seeing AI adoption across various domains with a focus on autonomous AI, developer productivity, and human centricity. Generative AI approaching the trough of disillusionment, upskilling and hiring in generative AI to become routine. So we will see much more a fraud increase, which is a fallout of not very good people utilizing AI to cause trouble. And then of course there's an expansion of legal norms and disclosures for AI usage, which would be a direct outcome of this fraud improvement increase that we'll see. Now, when you look at the talent landscape, what we will see is that Gen Z tech talent is going to become a larger part of whatever is happening today in our organizations. And there will be a need for global competitiveness with advanced technical skills. And the non-tech talent also will be required to understand AI. Leaders will start looking at strategic focus during this piece of trough of disillusionment. There will be an importance given to the ethical governance and transparency, and workforce development as a priority for talent readiness. So, when AI drives this world, are we missing out on anything? I do hope you are following me, and you're going to help me out by liking and subscribing to my channel. So the thing that we saw is that people are going and trying to get legal intervention saying that AI cannot get trained on copyrighted works. This is something which the artists are doing, and it actually was struck down by the UK court, because UK court said, no, you can. use everything that's available to train your AI. We also saw that Microsoft is somewhere really pitching ahead with the adoption of AI and purchases, large bulk purchases of certain AI chips. And we saw that the SoftBank CEO has announced a large investment in the US to drive AI jobs, the AI space. And with this, what are we going to focus on in 2025? So, Happy New Year. And I really do hope that we see a lot of action in this space, but an action with a lot more of regulation. So, what we will see is that, just to summarize, that, we have Gen AI, we have predictive AI, which looks at future trends, and we have that whole general, broader artificial intelligence group. All three will see a lot of action in this space. To summarize, if you wanted to see month-wise what had happened, we had seen multiple adoptions of AI. In January, we saw Mayo Clinic train large-scale AI models for complex medical data. February, Cisco launched its first context-aware AI assistant. March, we saw the US Department of Homeland Security unveil AI roadmap. April, we saw Cognizant and Microsoft look at Gen AI adoption and Microsoft Copilot being pushed. May saw OpenAI launch GPT-4. June saw SAP introduce generative AI innovations. July saw NATO upgrade AI strategy. August saw US Department of Defense perform Task Force Lima for ethical AI. September saw Intuit enhancing Gen AI operational system. October saw Walmart unveiling its adaptive retail strategy, which is combining Gen AI, AR, and immersive commerce. And then November saw OpenAI raising huge value, 6.6 billion in funding. And December saw Google AI Studio propose a direct path to artificial super intelligence, okay, bypassing the intermediate stages. So we're seeing a lot of action. That's in a nutshell. And what do I observe? What is going to be happening is that the as the landscape has increased, the customer implementations will be key, and they will be driven by MSPs. Let's take a closer look at what I'm saying over here. So what we are saying is that a managed service provider model, which is that a third party company will remotely manage a customer's information technology, the IT infrastructure, and end user systems will be more and more common. MSPs offer a range of services today also, and these include network infrastructure management, security monitoring to small and medium sized businesses, non-profits, governments. So, what are the biggest MSPs we know about? We know IBM, TCS, Accenture, etc. And these MSPs are now going to start providing and becoming much more active in this space of AI. Now, of course, there are some benefits to organizations. They will have access to specialized expertise, they will have access to cost saving, enhanced operational efficiency, predictable IT support costs, and they will focus on core business functions. They will not spend their time, energy trying to harness the AI. They will just rely on the MSPs. Now, this model, as I'm mentioning to you, is going to become more and more important, especially in 2025. So, the models of delivery will be, of course, on-premise or MSP's data center or third-party data centers. And the value of this managed service provider industry, which was valued at 161 billion in 2021, it's supposed to grow to 312 billion by 2027. Largely, they are going to be fueled by this AI revolution. So by outsourcing IT functions to MSPs, the organization will benefit from specialized expertise, cost serving, and enhanced efficiencies. And as we approach 2025, generative AI is poised to significantly transform business operations across various sectors. Its applications are expected to enhance efficiency, foster innovation, and provide personalized experiences to a lot much more customers. right? So how will it really influence your business? If you were to look at it, it is my belief that we will see a lot much more in the space of content creation, blog posts, marketing material, product descriptions, etc. We will also see personalized customer experiences by leveraging Gen AI's natural language processing capabilities, automation of repetitive tasks, so data entry to report generation, etc., freeing employees to focus on more strategic and creative work. Enhanced decision making. So businesses will harness Gen AI predictive power to make informed decisions, and prototyping and ideation. We'll see a lot much more when it comes to Gen AI and AI in general, right? So, what exactly are we saying is going to happen? We are looking at in this new year a lot more emphasis on business implementations. Yes, the shift will go towards developing tailored AI solutions to address unique business challenges and go beyond generic applications. So, that's something to watch out. There'll be a consolidation of major tech companies, which we can start seeing already in the USA. There had been a lot of emphasis in the Biden tenure to ensure that big tech did not emerge, big companies did not become bigger. But that's going to go away when Trump is in. And there will be an impact of political leadership on AI policy. So President Trump has anticipated a shift towards deregulation and a more business friendly environment under his leadership. And this approach will lead to reduced oversight of AI technologies, potential accelerating of innovation and investments in this sector. Now, you might ask me, where are you getting all this information, Subhashni? And I generally look at Forbes, I look at Gartner, and other such high-end resources on the net to bring it to you. I compile all of this, and I do hope you enjoy it. Let's stay connected and see a lot more in the AI space in 2025.